everyone, my name is Miranda, and as you might be able to tell from my hairstyle, today I'm here to review Star Wars The Force Awakens, the latest edition of Star Wars. And first off, this is the movie. It's kind of impossible to review it spoiler-free. Like, it would just be like, no words, just reactions. So if you have not seen the movie yet and don't want to be spoiled for what happens, because there's some pretty big spoilers in this movie, thank you all for stopping by, but we'll have to meet again after you've seen the movie and/or someone else spoiled it for you and you killed them for it. This is like the first Star Wars movie I can actually like remember seeing, because I remember seeing the third one of the second trilogy with Anakin Skywalker. I saw that one when I was like 8. But I don't remember it. I do remember it wasn't very good. And then the other Star Wars movies, I've just never been that interested in them. I wasn't sure if I was going to go see this Star Wars movie, but ultimately everyone convinced me to do so. And I have to say, I was super, super impressed with it. I mean, I was expecting it to be good. It's literally like people have grown up with Star Wars, so I knew they weren't going to mess it up. I just didn't know if it was going to be like good for someone who maybe wasn't a huge Star Wars fan or even like a casual Star Wars fan like myself. And I have to say, unlike Star Trek, which I feel like Star Trek sometimes it's geared too much to its particular fandom, so I can't enjoy it as like a casual moviegoer. I have to say Star Wars was really, really good in like playing to the whole audience, not just like people who grew up with Star Wars, not just people who like Star Wars. And one thing I was super surprised and impressed by was how funny the movie was. Like, I don't know if it was just J.J. Abrams, his particular brand of writing, or if this was like really the direction they're trying to take Star Wars in, but it had a lot more funny lines than I thought it would. Like, just like not Han Solo's like casual one-liners, but like Finn was really funny, Rey had some funny lines, Poe was hysterical. So I really like that, because I don't know if the old Star Wars were that funny like that, but it's definitely like you can see maybe where it's been influenced by kind of like Marvel's brand of humor, where it's action, but then you throw in like this wit and this sarcasm, and it makes everyone laugh because it feels more realistic and it feels more like how we would react in situations, at least like me, because I am terrible under pressure and I make terrible puns and terrible jokes, and that's just me. The greatest thing though about this movie, and I think what ultimately pushed me into seeing it, was how revolutionary it is, because the three main leads per se are Poe Dameron, who is played by a non-white guy, and Finn, who is a black stormtrooper, and Rey, who is a girl. Like, this is monumentally shocking to everyone. I think like no one can wrap their head around it, and it's freaking amazing. I'll probably do a whole video on Rey and just what she represents for an entire generation growing up with Star Wars now, for this new generation, because she is amazing and I love her, and I love that they never like sexualize her character. Like, she's just Rey. She just is who she is. It's not like she has to wear like a tight suit like Black Widow does. It's not like there's ever like this moment where we see her like awkwardly changing. It's not like anyone is ever like, you can't do this because you're a girl. She saves herself many, many times. That's one of my absolute favorite scenes in the beginning, when Finn runs over to go help her because he sees her getting like roughed up by those guys, and like as he starts to run over, she decks both the guys in like 5 seconds, and he's just like, okay, I guess she doesn't need my help. So that's cool. So Rey was definitely a breath of fresh air. And then also, I love Finn in how funny he is and how he's just so sweet. How like he literally said he saved Poe because it was the right thing to do. And that's an amazing, amazing journey to have in a character who's kind of someone who he doesn't want to necessarily fight or change things. He just wants to do what he sees as the right thing. And that's kind of his whole journey in this movie, is realizing that the right thing, maybe you do have to fight for it. You can't just kind of ignore it and live your life. Like, you do have to go out for those things to make it right for everyone else. And then Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, I love him. Like, I know I shouldn't, but he's such a little shit, and I love him because he's so funny when he just takes all his temper tantrums. And even the stormtroopers know, because they were just like, no, we're gonna walk that way, because he's throwing his little temper tantrum again, and I love it, because it's hysterical how he thinks he's like this strong Darth Vader guy, and he's so intimidating and so scary, and he can get any information out of anyone, and then he just like throws a temper tantrum when he doesn't get his way. Like, you are not Darth Vader, nor will you ever be Darth Vader, sir. And it's very interesting to see a character who right off the bat is struggling with light and dark, and wants to be in the dark side, because I feel like a lot of times you'll see a character who's struggling and wants to like return to the light, but the darkness is calling them. He's like the complete opposite. He doesn't want the light at all. He killed Han Solo for it. And I just have to say, that moment made me so angry because I turned to my friend and I was like, Jessica, I love you. You're my best friend. But if you ever pulled what this little shite did and were like, oh, I'm evil now, I would not try and bring you back and change you and be like, oh, she's still good. I would be like, stab her now, because she's gonna try and kill me. Like, that would never in a million years happen to me, because it's such like a cliched storyline when you're like, no, I can bring him back, and then you die. So no, if your family member or anyone, I know you love them now, but if they turn to the dark side, you leave them. Do not try and redeem them, because they will kill you because you're trying to redeem them. So stab them when you get the chance. That is what I took away from this movie. But I just like the whole complexity of Kylo Ren's character and how he's not necessarily the greatest guy, but at the same time, he's still kind of like this scared little boy. And I think it's going to be very interesting in the next two movies, because we've already been seeing these parallels between Rey and Kylo Ren, and whether they're siblings, cousins. I mean, I'm right now in the theory that she's either related to Obi-Wan Kenobi somehow, or she was like a Padawan, and then when Kylo Ren like attacked them, they somehow got Rey away from all of them, because he definitely knows her. You can't act like he's never heard of this girl before, because when they said there was a girl on Jakku that got away with BB-8, he freaked the F out, and that's like not a normal reaction. So he definitely knows of Rey, and he knows she was on Jakku, obviously, because like, why would you just freak out about some random girl on Jakku? So it's interesting because he seems to have known that she was on Jakku, but like he never like actively went searching for her. So I mean, there's something there, but I think the parallels between Rey and Kylo Ren have been amazing. You can definitely see how she may be the one to kind of pull him towards the light, whether that's because she's his sister or because it's going to be something romantic and they're not related. If something like that, it's just she's going to bring the light out in him, and he's probably going to die. I mean, let's be honest. He's probably gonna die. It does not end well for bad guys in the Star Wars films. He's probably gonna like sacrifice himself in some heroic way, but the whole journey to getting there is very interesting. And Rey and Kylo Ren's storylines and scenes were definitely my favorite in the movie, just because I felt like they were so like charged with this thing that like, we know there's something there. We know like he knows her somehow, but we don't know. And it's just freaking amazing to me. My absolute hands down favorite scene is when they were fighting the battle at the end. They were fighting, and Rey gets knocked out, then Finn tries to like avenge her and gets knocked out himself, and Kylo finally has Darth Vader's lightsaber like in his clutches. He's like so happy that he doesn't even like take the time to go walk over. He's just like, yes, come to me, lightsaber. And you see it start to twitch, and then it flies right past him and into Rey's hand. His face when that happened was amazing, because you could tell he was just like, are you kidding me? All I've done, I killed my father. All I've done to be worthy of Darth Vader, and this girl gets it, because like I still don't think he understands completely that Darth Vader at his core was good guy. Like I still think he views that as being weak, like his grandfather gave up by turning to the light, but he doesn't realize that the lightsaber wants to be with someone who's light. That's why it went to Rey, and that was such a badass moment, and it made it even more badass that it was a girl, because you would never have seen that back then, and even in movies nowadays. Like this movie, I really hope that the next director and writer doesn't mess up Rey's character, because J.J. Abrams did such an amazing job with her, and I hope they don't pull a Black Widow or anything and make it really weird and creepy and just ruin what they have, because she's amazing so far. She's definitely one of my favorite characters to come out of 2015, and I am so excited to see what is in store for all these characters in the next two films, which we have a little ways to wait for, but you know, we can just speculate and freak out and keep ourselves up at night thinking of what could happen in the next movie. So, you know, typical fangirl stuff. Alright, I think that's about going to do it for this review. If you have seen Star Wars, please feel free to leave your thoughts and reactions to the movie down below in the comments, and let me know what your favorite parts were. And be sure to post like spoilers so no one else accidentally sees it or anything like that, but let me know definitely what your favorite parts were, who your favorite characters were, and what you are looking forward to seeing in the next two movies. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and want to see all sorts of new videos. Subscribe to my channel down below to be told when I make all sorts of new videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!